the mechanism that is utilized to send the information from one end to the other end. So important components: the sender capable of creating the message, capable of formatting the message, and capable of interfacing the message with the medium. Interfacing of the message with the medium is very important. This particular information can be then properly communicated from sender to the receiver end, and from sender to the receiver, whenever we are sending this information, then the information can be retrieved with the necessary formation, necessary formulation, necessary fragmentation, necessary defragmentation at the receiver end. This particular receiver, that's why it's very important. Whenever we are talking about the components, the type of medium is not at all. It should be a standard medium of communication. That is only the requirement. Then the various types of protocols that are used in creating the message. These are the various types of rules. The protocols are the procedures or the rules that must be defined at the sender's end, and the information about this particular protocol definition must be available at the receiver's end. Then and then only the information can be properly said to be propagated in an efficient manner, and the computer communication system will have now the highest efficiency. So the typical performance parameters associated with the computer communication system: the efficiency of data transmission, then the speed at which the data can be propagated, and there comes the important terminology that is used typically for the medium, that is the bandwidth supported by the communication medium. The bandwidth that is being supported by the optical fibers is supposed to be very high. This particular bandwidth is quite high, and that's why a lot of information, a lot of audio signals, a lot of video signals can be properly propagated from the sender end to the receiver's end. At present, we'll just summarize the basic components that are required. We must need to have some procedure to create the message. We must have suitable procedure to send the message. We must have a suitable procedure to interface the message with the communication medium. It's not that at all times the communication medium will be a UTP cable. It may be a optical fiber. It may be a satellite communication. It may be a microwave type of communication. Depending on that, your data must be properly interfaced with the communication medium. At the receiving end, that particular information must be properly retrieved. The retrieved information then can be properly read by the receiver, again by utilizing the protocols in the reverse order at the receiving end. So that is the last protocol that is utilized at the sender's end. If it's rule N, at the receiver's end, rule N will be the first protocol, so that the typical format associated with the received data is first of all formatted by the rule N protocol, and then it's handed over to the upper rules to retrieve the actual data. And that is quite important. That's why this particular diagram plays an important role in designing every system in the computer communication system. Designing every system, that means the type of hardware that is utilized at the sender's end, the type of hardware that is utilized at the receiver's end, the type of software rules that are defined at both the ends, source end as well as the destination end or the receiver end. The source end and the receiver end provides the formation associated with the various types of rules. the formation associated with the various types of rules that actually defines. Nowadays, in the 21st century, whenever we go for designing the protocols, all the protocols are basically the software protocols. These software protocols are utilizing the existing hardware in order to exchange the information from senders to the receivers end. Whenever we are utilizing the communication system in a simplex way, this particular type of mechanism is quite suitable. The sender will create the information and the receiver will only receive the information. But whenever we want to utilize the entire computer communication system in a duplex way, the receiver should be also a sender one, so that the information can be properly formatted, properly interfaced with the communication medium, and another type of message will be sent to the source one or the subscriber one. If this, we call it as a subscriber one, and receive this particular party as the subscriber 2, then subscriber 1 and subscriber 2, if want to communicate in a duplex way, the type of protocols will also vary. For sending the information, one particular set of protocol will be used. For receiving the information, another set of protocol will be used. The information may be different. The information by sender's party, the subscriber one, will only be a text message requesting for a video information. The receiver will generate that particular video or create that particular video, and that video information will be sent back to the subscriber one, which is the another message format. The message format for the first subscriber one is simple text format. The message format for subscriber 2 may be a video type, maybe a audio type, or maybe a data type, or maybe a hybrid type. It may be a video conferencing type of configuration. It may be a one-to-one type of communication. It may be a one-to-n type of communication, or it may be a n-to-one or n-to-n communication. The computer communication system can be a system 1 is to 1, 1 is to n is to 1, and n is to n. From n terminals, the information can be generated and can be sent to n other terminals. N other terminals, all the data terminals needs to be the workstations. The workstation, that means every terminal is able to communicate with other terminal with suitable type of hardware interface and with suitable type of software protocols in order to receive as well as send the data. So these are the typical components associated with our computer communication system. The typical terminology, the term telecommunication, a literal meaning associated with the telecommunication, communication at a distance. The information can be transmitted from one point to another point. It's again typically the basics associated with our broadcast type of communications or unicast type of communication system. Typically the communication system amplitude modulation and the frequency modulation, which we have studied in the second year itself. The information that is being associated or for AM or FM stations is the signal is typically in the analog format. But in case of our data communication, the signal is always in a digital format, or the information is referred as a data. The data referred to the information presenter in whatever form is agreed upon by the parties creating and using the data. That means whenever a sender is creating one particular data, that particular data must have a specified format, and that specified format must be known to a receiver one, so that that particular data becomes a usable one. I have given you the example associated with the PDF. If the PDF reader is not at all available at the receiver one, the PDF file transferred or sent by the sender cannot be used, or the information is not properly retrieved. And that's why nowadays for every browser is also supporting the PDF reading compatibility, such as directly you can view the PDF file directly in the browser even if you don't have the mechanism or the software associated on your terminal, such as Acrobat Reader. Even if it's not at all available, you can directly view either in the Chrome or in the Firefox, because the browser provides the facility to display the information that is being available in the PDF format, and that browser compatibility must be available. Nowadays all the browsers are providing this particular compatibility, but again the receiving party must have the suitable mechanism for using that particular data. The data communication are the exchange of the data between two devices via some form of transmission medium, such as a wire cable or a wireless cable. Nowadays, all the Wi-Fi system, your terminals, say in the campus you are connected to JICA Wi-Fi or GC Karad Wi-Fi. GC Karad Wi-Fi, the type of connectivity within your device and your device connected to the network of network, each supported by some wireless protocols which provides a quality of service, whenever you are communicating with the other devices or whenever you are communicating with the internet. And that particular exchange of the data is possible either by the wired type of connectivity or a wireless type of connectivity. We are going to study the details associated with this wired and wireless type of connectivity in the coming lectures. Again, the simple configuration, a simplex type of configuration. The data is being sent from the mainframe terminal to the monitor. Monitor is not at all able to communicate back to the mainframe. This particular type of data sending is the simplex type of sending. The half duplex type of sending, there are two different stations. The station 1 is sending the data at, say, time instant 1. At that instant of time, station B is not able to send the data, so the station B is sending the data in the direction for station A at different instant of time. This different instant of time, station A and station B, whenever are communicating, both the terminals are intelligent terminals, both the stations are intelligent terminals, both the stations have the capability to generate the data. Both the stations can communicate or can interface the data with the communication media. The station A and station B are connected either by a wired medium or by a wireless type of medium, but have the capability to interface the data. And this particular type of communication is half duplex type of communication. The full duplex type of communication, both the station can generate the data and can transmit the data at all instances of time. That's a full duplex type of communication. The typical example again, the two telephone subscriber communicating with each other. What if the second subscriber is not at all available? Whenever you are dialing the specified subscriber, the ringing tone is not at all generated whenever second subscriber is busy in talking with another subscriber or a third subscriber. So again an indication is generated. By the centralized exchange, and a busy tone is returned back to the first subscriber. The duplex type of communication is possible whenever the two subscribers are communicating with each other. The speech is being transferred from one subscriber to another with the support of microphone and loudspeaker that are available at the handset. Similar loudspeaker and microphone are available at the another subscriber handset. Both the subscribers are creating the data, both the subscribers are exchanging the audio information. That's a typical case of full duplex type of communication. At the same instant of time, both the subscriber can talk. But it may be that even if they are talking at the same instant of time, a slight delay in the communication can help them in properly identifying, or the two subscriber can indicate to each other that overlapping of the data is being happening. So whenever subscriber 1 is talking, subscriber 2 is listening. Whenever subscriber 2 is talking, subscriber 1 is listening. It's a full duplex type of communication, but both the terminals can send the data at the same instant of time. It's only the example, not actually our data communication network, but the data communication network simplex form, half duplex form, and full duplex form. Then the typical terminology that is being utilized in our data networks. The network is a set of devices connected by communication links. The set of device, just now I have told you the data terminal. The data terminal is able to communicate with the communication media with the support of a specified network. This particular network, when connected to that data terminal, that particular actually forms a node. The nodes are connected by communication links. The communication links again via wireless. A node can be a computer, a node can be a printer, or any other device capable of sending and receiving the data generated by other node on the network. All the devices must be connected to a network. Then and then only they are able to communicate. A node, we will be utilizing this particular word node, either node or a data terminal or a workstation in our all our coming lectures. While designing, while defining the physical structures, while categorizing the network, we'll be utilizing the node and the communication link. Node and communication link. These are the important components that are associated with the data communication system. Then, whenever we are designing a specified network, the important criteria associated are the performance, reliability, and security. The data must be protected. The data must be protected against corruption. The data must be protected against loss of the data. The data may be lost due to the various types of communication error, due to the noise, or due to the malicious users being part of the data network. So a suitable mechanism must be available, and that creates a very important aspect associated with the data communication system, and that is security. It's very important nowadays to provide the security to all the data communication networks. The data communication networks are always supported with the suitable security mechanism, and that particular security mechanism has brought us to the concept of the data security or the network security. That is some additional specialized subject. The base for that particular specialized subject is our data communication network or computer communication network. Then the data network must have a suitable performance, which entirely depends on the various types of elements of the network, and the communication is always measured as the QoS parameter or the quality of service parameter. QoS parameter is very important. You might have studied in the digital communication. The quality of service parameter. This quality of service parameters, whenever the errors in the communication as well as the jitters in the communications are minimized, the efficiency associated with the data transmitted goes on increasing. Whenever the delay in receiving the digital data is also very low, the throughput is said to be a increased throughput. Same is true with the network criteria, because the networks are nothing but the extension of our digital communication systems or part of the digital communication system. So the terminology that is being used for the performance of the digital communication system holds good for the terminology of for the performance of the computer networks. Then important parameters: failure rate of network components. Whenever your modem is not at all working, the modem gets hang, then you are not at all able to connect to the internet. That is one of the failure of the component of a network system. That decreases the reliability associated with the data network. The reliability of the computer networks or the data communication systems is always measured in terms of availability of the network and the continuous availability. In all circumstances, the network must be available. It should not be that whenever you are receiving the DTH signal, and if suddenly the moisture contents in the air goes on increasing, the dish is unable to retrieve the satellite signals. That's unavailability of the DTH service. Of course, it's possible to minimize this particular by protecting the equipments. The protecting the equipments or providing the umbrella type of structure to the DTH or dish that is being utilized for the DTH services. Similarly, the reliability for the computer networks is entirely measured in terms of availability and the continuous availability, that is the robustness. It should work 24 by 7 whenever you are exchanging the data. The typically you might have heard about the CERN laboratories. For the CERN laboratories at Switzerland was connected with 47 American universities. These 47 American universities were connected to CERN laboratories and continuously monitoring the operations at the CERN laboratory with the support of grid network or the computer network support with the optical fiber as the backbone. That particular continuously for 8 days, the entire process at the CERN laboratory was monitored by all the research deliverables at the universities, various universities which were part of the entire CERN project. I think all of you know what was that particular CERN project. The internet was first of all developed, designed, and made available to the public by this CERN laboratories. I think search for this particular information. At present, I think for today, I will take now the questions. If you have any difficulties, just switch on your mic and ask the questions. We'll stop sharing. I'm now available to take the question. If there are any questions, you can ask your question in the chat box or raise your hand. I will unmute you and you can ask the question. Just raise your hand. I will unmute you. Abhishek Gawande. Abhishek Gawande, I have unmuted you. Aishwarya, Ajinkya. I will unmute all. But Shreya Kolekar, any question? Shreya Kolekar. Shreya. Rutuja Patil.
Sir.
Any question?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Sanika?
No, sir.
No. I will be providing the link to this PPT at the end of the lecture. It will be the video also will be available for all. Divesh Gaikwad?
Sir,
Yes.
no problem.
No problem. Any difficulty? Aniruddha Joshi?
No problem, sir.
No problem. No difficulty.
No,
You
sir.
can even stop me at any moment. Just type your question in the chat box or just raise your hand. Stop. We'll discuss the problem and we'll move.
So,
Yes.
just want to know about the laboratory sessions,
Yeah.
lab
Laboratory
sessions.
sessions. I am in process of collecting the various hardware at my end, and we can start the laboratory sessions virtually also. Importantly, the hardware related part associated with the laboratories, it will not at all be possible, like creating a cable. But how to create a cable, that I can tell you, and you can try at your home if the suitable devices are available. The requirement associated, the one of the experiment is creating the cable for providing the connectivity in between your computer and the hub or to the switch. We'll start our practical sessions after certain study associated with the theory. Then only you will understand. But those sessions also can be taken virtually. The sessions can be taken virtually. Today we'll not at all start with our virtual lab, but in the next week we'll start with the first experiment of creating the cables. At that time, I will show you the various hardware devices that are available with me, such as interfacing cards, the type of connectors that are being used. I will typically show you those devices and the utilization of the devices in our data networking. Sanket Malve?
No problem.
No problem. Sumit Valsankar?
No problem, sir.
No problem. Sushant Gowdy?
Yes, sir.
Any problem? Any difficulty? Anything you want to ask? Not getting your voice clearly. Sujay? Sujay Thakur?
No difficulty.
No difficulty. Prerna?
No problem, sir.
No problem. Payal Kauthekar?
Sir, all the concepts are clear.
All the concepts are clear. Okay. I can tell you this particular subject will help you for your entire career. The computer network is required everywhere, everywhere, in whatever field you go. Even if you go in the robotics lab, for the robotics also, the one of the important component is the design of the computer communication or the data communication system, and that's why this particular subject is very very important in your entire career. So at least basic concept must be very very clear. Then only you can go for the modern designs. Everywhere nowadays, computer communication and the security associated with the data communication is required. Akanksha? Akanksha Kapre?
No problem, sir.
No problem. Okay. So I will end the session for today. Tomorrow we'll meet again at our regular